Welcome to this presentation of the Aurifer GCC Tax Certificate. As you know, this certificate is a collaboration between Middlesex University Dubai and Aurifer, so between a university, an institution, and a law firm which is active in GCC countries. The Aurifer GCC program is still the first program in the GCC. Was the first program and still is the first program to be initiated in tax in the UAE and the other GCC countries. Is an executive level program, so is 2 weeks, sorry, two months program, and designed specifically for professionals that either are already familiar with tax but perhaps come from other jurisdiction and also or also are fresh, just graduate from the university. In this 1 hour webinar, we will present the program for this event together with the two chairs of the program, Professor Thomas Pani and Professor Pallavi Kishore. Professor Thomas Pani clearly from Aurifer and Professor Pallavi Kishore from Middlesex University. I'm a lecturer in the program. I'm assistant professor at the University of Amsterdam, and I lecture GCC VAT in the program together with Alil Erdem, who is already here, and I think he doesn't actually need presentation because he's a kind of celebrity in taxation, especially in the GCC, right, Alil? Okay, without further ado, I would leave the floor to Thomas for sharing some insight and why actually he came up with the idea to let's say invent or realize or put in operation this course that after has reached the fourth edition, so successfully so. So Thomas, maybe you can give us some backgrounds.
Sure. Thank you so much, Georgia, for the intro. Also on my behalf, thank you for everybody who is joining on a Saturday. I know you all have other commitments as well. The I guess it's a really good question. Why did we start this, right? I think Halil and myself, for example, have moved to the GCC quite a long time ago. What you found is that there were and there is quite a bit of tax reform happening in the GCC, and that was specifically in 2017 excise tax, which is together with customs one module of the program. Introduction of VAT on the 1st of January 2018 in both UAE and Saudi Arabia. That's the module which both Georgia and Halil are looking at. And then we had a bit of a period during which there were discussions on an international level on tax reform, notably to address certain complications with so-called digital economy and how to tax that, right? And that led to a two-pillar solution, which some of you may have heard of, and which we will be covering in the international tax module, which is the module that I'm going to be looking at. But Pillar 2 specifically is the reason why on the 31st of January 2022, quite some time back now, the UAE Ministry of Finance announced that with effect from June 2023, corporate income tax would be introduced. And what you see is that currently all of the GCC countries, barring Saudi, have already taken position in regards to the application of Pillar 2. I think that's just anecdotally showing a bit what has happened in the region in the last couple of years, which meant that there was both a need for tax professionals, right? That's how some of us got here and are still here and are likely to stay here as well, as taxes don't go away. But there was also a need to get people trained in certain skills, right? If you look at other mature jurisdictions, that there are tax programs. Obviously, Traditionally, accountants very often, as part of their degree or as part of your finance degree, for example, you would have some level of taxation. This certificate goes beyond that, right? So I do want to emphasize again what Giorgio said. It's the first program in the region. It is still unique in what it does. It has this broader focus for the region. We will show that in a bit. So that's really a bit how we got to this program. Um, Pallavi and I are the co-chairs of the program. We've run this program successfully for a number of years. Middlesex has incredible infrastructure. We've combined everything together to really make something for tax professionals or for people who want to become a tax professional. I think for our line of work, this certificate is very important, and currently there is demand in our line of work, and we are hoping that this certificate answers to that demand and better matches what the employers need and what the employees are trained at doing. I think we've come a long way since 2017, in my case, January 2017. We've come a long way in having tax authorities evolve, right? The UAE's tax authority, the federal tax authority, I remember officially set up in 2016, but really only kicking off kind of in 2017. At the time, they had a building in Bur Dubai, which was very dusty. The Ministry of Finance occupies that building now. Now the FTA, maybe having collected more tax revenue, is now in a very nice building that I think a lot of tax authorities would be jealous of. Um, Same thing in Saudi Arabia, for example, the tax authority. When I first set foot, there were no women in the tax authority in Saudi Arabia at the time. It was also a bit dusty, a bit dark. It also evolved quite a bit. So we've matured, I think, as tax professionals together with the tax authority, and we are here in this program, essentially all of us, not just the panelists today, but also all of the lecturers, to share our experience, to share our insights, to share how potentially you might be familiar with taxation in another jurisdiction and how it effectively applies here, and what are maybe the practicalities. So I'm hoping that this will be beneficial for anybody who's interested and who dialed in today. I hope you're all going to register for the program, because we're obviously a big fan of the program. And if there's any questions that you have, we'd be very happy to answer them. Back to you, Georgia.
Thank you so much, Thomas, for sharing the perspective. Indeed, I also underline the fact that I mean it was the first program, and it was a bold move, I think, back in time, because you started actually before, I think, the implementation of the corporate tax, and you said, well. Time has passed, but still from a non-GCC perspective, because I still do not live in Dubai or in any GCC country. I still live in the old Europe, and we see at the GCC, like, they are moving so fast, and we are still, I mean, VAT, for instance, in the European Union, kicked off basically in the 69 to be precise. So you can imagine that, how tax and how this world is new to us, and so it's amazing to see how many progresses have been done, along the years. And we were just discussing before joining this webinar how actually, the FTA, but also other tax authorities in GCC country are just rolling out, guidance legislation, and for tax professionals. So it's really never a dull moment, let's say, in the GCC, definitely in tax in general, but in GCC in particular. I think you mentioned already, Thomas, but I think one of the strengths of the program, perhaps the strength of the program, is that it's not just a certificate in isolation. is actually a collaboration, and a collaborator, I think everybody knows, are a new institution, Middlesex University, Dubai, a university. So we have also somehow a continuation of our, education at the university, and perhaps it's just, the things that help to transition from, let's say, a graduate program to the work actually. So I think maybe I leave the floor to Pallavi to say some words about the institution, about Middlesex University Dubai, and the amazing campus, the amazing campuses they have in Dubai. So, Pallavi, maybe you can share some perspective on that.
Sure. Thank you, Giorgio. And a very warm welcome to all of you to this webinar today and to join the GCC Tax Certification program here with us. A little bit about Middlesex University. I'm sure you've all heard the name. You've maybe seen the campus sometimes while driving up and down Sheikh Zayed Road, or our second campus, which is in Academic City. We've been here for a while now. Last year, we celebrated our 20th year in UAE at the iconic Burj Al Arab. 2 decades of growth, of innovation, and of really building, a global community. A part of this innovation is collaboration, collaborating with the industry. And that's how this partnership really came about. Our partnership with Aurifer to launch this GCC tax certification program. And as Giorgio and Thomas already said, we were the first, I think we still are the only collaborative program that talks about not just the Dubai or UAE taxation, but of GCC as a whole. But coming back to the university, we are the largest British university in Dubai based on KHDA numbers, and we have students from 127 nationalities. So we really are a vibrant, truly global community here in Dubai, but also we have a total of 3 international campuses. Our home campus is in London. We've got 2 branch campuses, one in Mauritius and the other one in Dubai. Within Dubai, we're the only university that has 2 campuses, one in Knowledge Park. That's where you will be coming down, hopefully, for the GCC tax certification program. But we've got another campus in Academic City as well. We've been rated 5-star by KHDA for several years in a row now, including this latest year. And we've got over 70 programs, over undergraduate as well as postgraduate. We've got accounting and finance. That's what I head, undergrad and postgrad accounting and finance programs. We've got some programs in investment management, in banking, investments, fintech, the latest feather in our cap. And all of these programs are professional programs. So like a tie-up with Aurifer, we either have tie-up with industry or we have recognition accreditation from professional bodies. Over and above that, we've got a suite of programs in business, in law, psychology, education, arts, computer science. So we've really got several programs. And if you want to know more about it, I can leave the website address in the chat box so you can explore the programs at your own pace. What else? We came together with Aurifer 4 or 5 years ago, where we thought that this is really a gap in the market. This is something the industry needs. This is something the companies are looking for, and we just need to upskill people who are already in the field to take on these jobs, which are tax related or maybe their own business, to understand the tax, how it works in the Gulf region. So you will see and know that this course that we offer is very comprehensive. It covers the taxation regimes of all the countries in the Gulf. And it's not been just that from the very beginning. We've kept updating our syllabus as we have new information coming in. We bring in those practical insights, we bring in case studies, we bring in experts from the region to come and deliver this program. And that's what really makes this program special, the bridge between academia and industry. So each round is stronger than the previous. This is going to be our fourth round, and I'm sure you guys are going to raise the bar even better, even higher, and we're going to create some more success stories. So a very warm welcome once again, and all the best.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Pallavi. You said something, which is very true, which is the fact that the program, yes, has reached the fourth edition, but actually has evolved over time. And so I'm going to delve deep into TZR program, 2025 program, which will kick off in October until the end of November, and we will see what kind of offer and new courses we have TZR. This is me. As I said, I'm assistant professor at the University of Amsterdam. I'm also a tax lawyer. And also I work as a member of two international review, Intertax, and I like the insights on European taxation, and I wrote a book about European VAT. But I think we are here for the program. So as I said, the GCC Tax Certificate is the first executive tax program in the GCC, still launched in 2022, and we hope we can celebrate more anniversary in the years to come. We decide to design. I mean, Thomas first decide to design this program specifically for the GCC region. So we cover, of course, we are in the UAE, we are in Dubai, sorry. We target primarily the UAE tax legislation, but also we cover the jurisdiction of the legislation of the other GCC countries. However, we do not forget the international perspective, so we decide to cover international tax. There is a module actually, let's say, talked by Thomas on international tax. And also we have this year a new specialization on Pillar 2. Of course, with more emphasis on the implementation of Pillar 2 in the GCC countries. So we cover both direct and indirect taxation, corporate tax, value-added tax, but also custom and excise that often are, niche, let's say, matters. And then we have two new specialization tracks this year, completely new. One is on private wealth taxation. So we will review structure like foundation or how to get a tax residence certificate, in particular in the UAE. And another specialization track is on financial services taxation, which of course are very niche, but are very useful also, we believe, for practice. Another strength of the program is that is a collaboration, not just from a university and a law firm, a collaboration between Aurifer and Middlesex University, but also we have a collaboration between tax professional and academics within the faculty team, which I think somehow help to increase the value of the program. Some general information. The kickoff of the program is on the 2nd of October with a keynote conference. We will announce it next week. We have a keynote speaker coming, actually speaking for the inauguration of the program, Dr. Leopoldo Parada from King's College in the UK. He will deliver a speech on the Pillar 2, let's say, challenges over the world. And then the date of the program is 27th of November. So basically it's a very intense program because it's twice a week. for a total of 16 days of teaching, 48 hours in total. We have also other important dates to remember are for the exam. The exam are done remotely. Most of the exam, as we will explain, will be done by multiple choice question, but also lecturer may decide to have also a paper exam. Let's say to ask participant to write on a certain subject, so at the discretion of each lecturer. And the exam period starts in mid-December until mid-January. Then we have a moment of, let's say, getting together, the ceremony with the distribution of the diploma in mid-April. And I think Thomas and I are also thinking about to make prepare some surprise for that event. Another, again, strength of the program is the format in which we decide to deliver the program, because it's blended. So what does it mean, blended? It means that you can come to the beautiful Middlesex campus for each lecture, but you can decide also to attend online. And you can also decide to swap from one to the other. So imagine you prefer to go on campus, but on a certain date you cannot make it. Well, you can join online and vice versa. And the location is always the Middlesex Knowledge Park in Dubai. As I said, I think this is somehow I already addressed it. Yeah, one note: we do not provide for privacy restriction class recording. So you have to attend lively. Unfortunately, we cannot record the class and distribute the recordings. We distribute the slide, of course, if you cannot make it, but class recorded is not allowed. Who should attend the program? Of course, the short answer is everybody, but in particular, three categories I think are, let's say, should be more interested, let's say, in the program. So tax professional, and here I mean just students that want to become to start a career in tax in the GCC particularly, but also people moving from other jurisdictions that want to learn the tax technicalities of the taxation in the GCC countries. Also, we had also government, fiscal and tax official, and also in-house professional, in-house consulting, as Alil is actually an in-house tax professional. There are also some eligibility criteria. So you must have a degree in law or alternatively in accounting or business, perhaps from the Middlesex University, Dubai, and you must be proficient in English. Alternatively, you can also show us that you have already some, let's say, experience on the ground of at least 1 to 4 years.
Giorgio?
Yes.
Sorry, there was a question from Ali, and there's also a question from Umar Aziz. Umar is asking if there's a plan to make the complete course available online in the future. I think the blended nature means that effectively it can be fully followed by somebody outside of Dubai. In fact, we've had in the past people dialing in from the UK, from Europe, from India, and whatnot. So Umar, if that's of interest, then we can definitely address that. Just maybe for everybody, I think we forgot to mention it, but please do put your questions in the Q&A. We have some time in the end for Q&A as well. If your question is not covered by then, we're happy to address it during the Q&A. In the meantime, please feel free to leave your comments already. Sorry, I just wanted to jump in to make sure that everybody knows that their questions will be addressed at a later point.
Yeah, yes, please. We have at least 15 minutes to answer your Q&A. And as I think Tulan was the name. Um, I think, yes, correctly. I think actually one idea could be, imagine that you decide to move to the UAE or other GCC countries in 2026. You can decide to enroll to the program online, of course, follow online the course, and you come somehow prepared, to the new profession in the GCC by following this course online, because it's an hybrid mode. So you can decide how many lecture actually to attend on campus, if any. So it's I think the flexibility of the program is one of the strengths of the program. Another, benefits that actually from this edition we implemented is the program is accredited. So it's not just that you receive a certificate, an official certificate from Middlesex University, Dubai, from any, a university in the UAE. There's also accreditation by third party, in particular by the Dubai Legal Affairs Department, the DFC Academy. And also, the program fulfills the requirement if you are or you are planning to become a tax agent, you can obtain also point for the continuous professional developments. I think another, let's say, again, benefits or gains of the program is the network, because as mentioned, we have reached the 4th edition, so we can count already 100 plus graduates from the program. And of course, we are a community. Also, in particular, during the ceremony in April, we organize a get together also with previous year students. So this is very important also to connect with people that are already start to work, are developing their profession in the GCC countries, and so is a real community that actually can help you in your career in the GCC. I think there are more Q&A, right? Maybe I will address at the end, or okay. So something about the faculty. As I said, the co-chairs are Thomas Bani and Associate Professor Pallavi Kishore from Middlesex University, and you can see also the other lecturer, Alil Erdem, who is here with us today. And then we have W. Russell, myself, Nirav. I put who is a partner in Aurifer Middlesex, Aurifer Consultancy. We have also my former students at the University of Amsterdam, and now both consultants at Aurifer, Toshin Bishoy and Nishi Agrawal. And then we have also professionals from other law firms. So it's not an Aurifer exclusive program. We have also a person from who are partners or senior manager in Big Four like EY, PwC, and also Deloitte. So and also BDO. So we have everything covered. Ahmed Seliskas is from PwC. Jonas Belmans and Thijs Cunha, they are from Deloitte. Rami Al-Rami is from BDO. And we are Umar Tariq, also from the investment fund. So we try to bring professional and from different area, different expertise together, and I think we have in all a good mix. So how many courses are there? And and also how many specialization track. So basically we have 8 compulsory modules. We kick off with the UAE corporate tax, And then we have a module of 3 hours with 9 hours, so it's a big model. Then we have a module on Pillar 2 in the GCC for 3 hours. So we implemented a new specialization this year. We have 6 hours for GCC custom and excise duties, also 6 hours as well as for my model in the GCC VAT. And then we cover also taxation in other jurisdictions, in particular for this year in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. As I said, we have also a module on international taxation, although the program is not an international tax program, but we also provide some insights on double taxation convention. And of course, we cannot forget transfer pricing, which of course is a very important subject in the tax sphere. As I said at the beginning, we have 2 specialization tracks this year. In particular, we decided to cover taxation of financial services at the very end of November, and also private wealth tax planning, which I will do myself together with Nishi. You can see the teaching schedule that is also available on the Middlesex website. So you can check exactly which date we are teaching what. So we start with the UAE corporate tax for 3 lectures, then Pillar 2. Then still in October, custom and excise. Then at the very end of October, we have VAT with myself and Alil. And then November, we have the 2 domestic tax system of Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, international tax with Thomas and David. And finally, the last module are transfer pricing, and for 3 hours each, the 2 specialization on taxation of financial services and private wealth tax planning. If you check the website of the Middlesex University, you can find this table. And by the way, we will circulate the slide and also the recordings after the end of the webinar. And also you have a description of the model. So if you want to know what is the content of each model, you can check the Middlesex website. Exam. Of course, there should be no education without a final exam to certify and verify your knowledge. So as I mentioned before, the exam exit tests usually are multiple choice question in a way, and they are delivered online. So you are not required to come to Middlesex University to take the exam. Or we prepare some case study for you to solve. So something that that show your ability, not just your theoretical knowledge, but your practical knowledge. I mean, the application of your knowledge, theoretical knowledge, into a concrete case. You receive some credits for attendance of the course, and the credits are based on module hours. So basically, as an example, for corporate tax, which is the longest module, we have 9 hours, so you receive 9 credits. Middlesex certify the teaching activity and provide students with certificate for attendance of the full program, but also single courses, because another feature of the program is that maybe you cannot attend for 2 months because maybe you are busy or you simply cannot attend. But you maybe are interested, or you are already specialized. For instance, you are expert already in VAT, but not in corporate tax, and you want to transition to corporate tax, imagine. So you can decide to apply also for a single course. And of course, you receive, in that case, a certification for that course only. What is the cost of the program? We have basically a different option here. So the full program cost is 12,000 dirham. And for single modules, instead, the course is based on teaching hours. So is 300 dirham per teaching hour, which means, for instance, that if you decide to attend only corporate tax, you pay 90, and 900, sorry, dirham for the whole module. If you are a Middlesex student or have you be already, let's say, a student of the program, or you are part of a corporate group, you can apply for a discount. And for that, we invite to contact us. We will provide the address at the end of this slide, and also you can find them online on the Middlesex University webpage. And the registration takes place via the Dubai website. So I'm probably already familiar if you are here with that page. And there is a specific section in which you can register and submit and complete your registration and also payment. For more information, so I invite you to check the website, but also the FYQ. We will, of course, address your question in the coming minutes, but you can always check. I believe most of the answers are already in the FYQs that you can find in the page on the Middlesex University website, or you can just click on that link once we share the slide. And also registration, as I said, you can do it using the website by Middlesex University. And in case you have still doubts, you can always contact us, and we leave the address, the email address for your perusal here. So I hope that you got some insights about the program, and you are already eager to start soon. And as I said, we will be here to answer your question. But first, I would like to leave the floor to Alil to say some words actually how this program can help you on the practical field in your future job in taxation in the GCC. So Alil.
Yes, thanks so much, Giorgio. First of all, welcome everyone to the webinar on this great program that is a collaboration between Aurifer and Middlesex. My name is, as introduced, Halil Erdem. I work as a Vice President of Tax for DIB in the UAE. I'm responsible for all taxation matters in the UAE, but also with my team, we look after taxes in all the jurisdictions that DIB is active in. So from a perspective of job opportunities, I would like to tell a little bit about the program and what this program can actually do for you, what it can mean for you, for your career, whether it is in your current job or whether it is in creating new opportunities. So first of all, I think it's important to note that it's a program that, of course, covers all taxes. And what you see, the trend these days, of course, is that companies are hiring a lot of tax professionals. But if you look at the job descriptions and you see it's not specifically corporate tax or specifically VAT, but even if there is a core tax element, they still want you to have an understanding of other areas in taxation. So I think that's a very good basis for a program that once you have finalized it, it is possible to show your current or future employer that you have the technical knowledge in this matter. When I look at the potential job opportunities in the market, I would like to actually focus a little bit on various roles that you can have in tax. So when we talk about tax, of course, people think, you can become a tax advisor, file tax returns, but there are, even in this tax field, of course, a lot of specialty areas. First of all, of course, specialty areas in the terms of taxation. In the UAE, we had seen that a lot of people have a VAT background, of course, and that makes sense because a lot of professionals came to the UAE for VAT purposes. But then, of course, corporate tax, transfer pricing. So you can actually specialize yourself in these areas. And even in niche areas, you can actually grow a lot, and you can reach up to the, let's say, partner level, especially if you look at Big Four organizations. You can become a partner, let's say, in excise tax or in VAT or in transfer pricing. So that's actually from a perspective of various taxes. But if you look at kind of jobs you can get with the tax experience and tax certificates and courses is first of all, of course, a tax advisor. So I'm very pleased to see also like old students from the University of Amsterdam program. I'm also teaching together with Giorgio there, and you see that actually with this experience you gain, you can actually work as an advisor in consulting firms, in law firms. That's, I think, Toshin and Nishi are very good examples of old students who are now working as an advisor. Secondly, even in law firms or advisory firms, you have also compliance departments. Especially in the bigger organizations, you see that you can focus purely on the compliance part. So with your tax knowledge, you can either be on the let's say, advisory side or on the compliance side, or of course do both of them. But these are, in my view, actually separate roles that you can fulfill with the knowledge. Apart from that, you see that government organizations, and especially the Federal Tax Authority, is aggressively hiring tax professionals. In a country like the UAE, like 7-8 years ago, there were actually no employees in the tax authorities because there was simply no tax. But if you look at it now, the number of employees in the Federal Tax Authority is approaching actually the 1,000 employees. Of course, we don't have the exact numbers, but based on my conversations and people I know in the organization, we know that the number of people is approaching 1,000 people. That's of course a lot, but if you put things in perspective, then you see that even the number of 1,000 is a very small number. If you look at the Netherlands, for example, where I come from, it's a country with, I think, like 18, maybe 19 million citizens at the moment. And the tax authority has approximately 27,000 employees working for the Federal Tax Authority in the Netherlands, the Belastingdienst. If you look at the UAE, we have almost 11 million people living in the UAE. If you look at the numbers of businesses that have registered for VAT, it's close to 500,000. Corporate tax, you will see that the number of corporate tax registrations will be even more than that. So I see already, and I will see in the coming years, that the tax authority will very easily grow to 2,000, 3,000, maybe in a couple of years to maybe 5,000 people. So there will be actually not only on the advisory side, on the consulting side, but also on the government side, you will see that there will be a lot of job opportunities created, and such courses can really add a lot of value. I have been also teaching with other universities and other course providers, and what I always see is that the knowledge you gain during a course is actually very valuable, of course, for your job, but also to show your future employer that you have those skills. Apart from government and consultancy, you see that there is also areas of course, tax technology. So if you are handy with technology and you have some knowledge of ERP systems, for example, then your additional tax knowledge that you will gain can really open a lot of doors for you. Especially when you look at, for example, companies that are automating their tax compliance, or the e-invoicing, let's say, legislation, or the developments that are on the front of e-invoicing. As of next year, somewhere in July, I believe, the e-invoicing will be implemented. So I see already in a lot of organizations around me that they're looking for tax professionals or finance professionals with tax knowledge and some technology knowledge, so they can support the implementation of these new requirements. So there are many more areas that you can work in, but I think these are the main categories. And I really want to emphasize that these jobs are not there only for pure tax professionals. I'm myself a lawyer, and I've specialized in taxation. So I have a tax master. So I'm let's say a core tax professional. But then you have also a lot of people in the market that have a finance background. They have an ACCA accounting background, and you see that these people, together with a tax qualification or a tax program, they can also grow a lot in their roles or get new opportunities. When I look at my team members in the bank, I have in the UE alone approximately 10 team members, and not all of them are tax professionals. They haven't done a bachelor in tax law or a master, but they come from a finance background, accounting background. They have done programs, they have worked in this area, and now became managers, senior managers, VPs in the tax field. So that's, I think, something very important to note, that also with other backgrounds, you can very easily get this knowledge and work on a career in taxation. I don't want to keep it much longer. It's of course, a Saturday morning. But these are the main things that I wanted to share with you. If there are questions, happy to answer them. So you can put it in the chat box, or you can always also reach out to me. Happy to answer these questions. And thanks so much for the organizers to have this webinar.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alil, for sharing your all-around perspective on the GCC countries taxation and beyond, and also a practical experience in the job market. I think you also change, I think some some employer, I think,
Yes.
quite recently.
Correct. Yeah. It's been actually 2 years already with the new organization, but maybe just a small anecdote, Giorgio. I think this is really interesting. I think that sometimes you do a course and then you don't realize when you will benefit from it, right? And myself, I'm as I mentioned, I have a master in international taxation. And subsequently in the UE, I have also worked long years actually in VAT, and also learned more about VAT. But transfer pricing was, for example, not an area that I had worked in. But many years before I joined my previous employer, Uber, Karim, I had done a transfer pricing course. And because since I had already experience with a lot of other taxes, but not transfer pricing, I thought, let me do a course on transfer pricing. I've done that, and then my certificate was just laying there. I didn't do anything with it. But then when actually later on I was approached for a specific role, there was actually in Karim, there were probably like 500 people who actually applied to the role. And one competitive edge I had was, apart from, of course, corporate tax, international tax, and VAT experience, they saw also this transfer pricing course in my CV. So basically, the previous head of tax that hired me at that time, he basically said that, transfer pricing, I'm not expecting you to be a transfer pricing expert, but I need someone that can manage transfer pricing. So basically, of course, in especially big multinationals, you work with advisors. You should be able to understand what transfer pricing is, how it impacts your organization, and actually manage your advisors. So that course that I had done many years before had actually led me to that role in Karim, and of course, ultimately becoming a head of tax in Karim and later on in DIB. But that's just a small example of a course. Although you might need it or not need it immediately, if you look at your if you're working on a strategy for your career, I think this course will add a lot of value. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Thank you very much, Alil. Actually, I already replied many questions in the chat, but I encourage, so don't be shy, I encourage also those that have a question just to, yeah, to put in the chat or even, to address them loudly with their voice. One important thing, I saw many questions related or already related to the exam. Please do not worry too much. The exam will start. You have plenty of time, I believe, to do the exam. So 1 month usually to take, not 1 month of exam, 1 month to take the exam. So we are flexible. As I said before, one of the strengths of the program is exactly the flexibility in attendance, but also flexibility during the exam. Of course, you cannot take 1 month to do the exam, but so you have to decide once you want to start, but you can, for instance, if you are working, let's say, many hours, during the week, you can decide also to do it on the weekends. So it's completely flexible, and you have 1 month. So I believe that quite doable. And yeah, and also the exam, of course, if you decide to attend only specific model, you get the exam only for that model, and also the certification relate only to that model. This is pretty clear, as well as the materials are related. You receive the material, the slide, something that perhaps I did not address before. We distribute the material, which means the relevant legislation, and also the slide related to each lecture before the lecture. So you don't need even to print. You're free to print if you want to print, but you receive everything in your email box, or perhaps to download. Our secretariat will provide you with those materials before the lecture. There was another question that I think is beneficial to discuss here. So, what is the last, let's say, time to register for the program? I would say the sooner the better. So, I mean, the program starts basically in less than 2 weeks with the keynote on the 2nd of October. I think that if you are thinking to apply, don't think too much, don't think twice, but just apply, because I mean, in 2 weeks things will not I think change, and yeah. So make sure to be ready for the to attend the keynote conference the 2nd. We will begin marketize it next week, and also to be ready for the first lecture on the 7th, so the first Tuesday of the next week on the 7th with UA Corporate Tax. So I think don't wait too much to register, because we are already approaching the start of the program. So I don't know whether there are any other questions. I think in any way, if you miss some part or something that I was not able to explain fully, you can email us. You have the email address. You will receive the slide in your mailbox. You can also watch again this presentation if some passages was missed, was not so clear. And well, we hope to see you all enroll soon, and to enlarge our community of students of the Aurifer GCC Tax Certificate that has already 100 plus students. Regarding the job market, I think well, as Alil, I think a picture in his presentation is I mean, I don't have to say that, but he's thriving, It's very let's say tax professionals are in high demand, and I think to be a qualified tax professional, having this diploma, this certificate will certainly help. And also the lecturer, you have also the profile in their website. I will share also the slide here. Well, actually, they are partner or senior professional in big law firm. So you may want to approach them during the lecture or after the lecture, and so there is plenty, I think, possibility to find a job, whatever whatever is your field of expertise or the field that you want to specialize. So if there are no question, I will. I saw maybe one question. Is there any discount extended to the attendee of today's webinar? Well, no specifically, but as I said before, we have that's a good one, by the way. But we have yes, we have discount available, particularly if you have attended in the past. Or you are a graduate of Middlesex University, or even if you, let's say, join with other colleagues in your firm or also in different law firm, and you come to us in, let's say, in a good number, let's say at least 3, we can provide some discount, yes. So I think we reach the 1 hour time that was allocated to us. So thank you very much again for attending this webinar on a Saturday. So instead of let's say, or before perhaps going to enjoy the sunshine and the beaches in Dubai or whatever you currently are. And we remain available for any question. Of course, I think you can contact us on our social profile. Well, not too many, to be honest, because when you say that, usually you're a bit scared to receive too many requests. But of course, we will try to make to reply to you in any case. And you will receive again the slide and and also the recordings I think in next week in your mailbox. So thank you very much. It was a pleasure, and hope to see you in person soon attending the program. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.